Number 106.
106.
I'm surprised the last podcast you didn't do what we normally do.
I'm Judy.
Oh yeah,
I don't do that. I don't like that.
Well, somebody said they wanted us to have that,
Well,
and we do have some new subscribers, so Mike.
Yeah, but they know us already.
Do
Well,
they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Dan. Thank you for subscribing.
Yes.
Carol.
Peggy.
All right, so we won't do it for a while.
So
How about that?
yeah, number
We
one.
have to watch Dan's podcast.
Oh, what's the name of it? Do you remember?
My something. I forgot. I'll look it up, Dan.
Dan.
Sorry. Sorry. Very
Well, it's
sorry.
number 106, and
And we still don't have the Epstein files. I'm throwing that out there.
Oh, please.
oh my God,
I just can't
oh my
believe
God, we're
that
opening
they
up that can of
sent
worms.
the Justice Department to interview that woman in prison. And as soon as they said it, I said, oh yeah, they're going to make a deal with her.
And
you
she
say what we want you to say,
Yeah.
and you'll get a cushy deal.
She was rewarded with a minimum security. She has work release where she can leave afterwards because she said what they wanted them to say.
Exactly.
Which I know I said earlier, but she said, I saw nothing inappropriate. As if she is
Yeah.
a reliable, trustworthy
So
judge
she's not.
of what's inappropriate
Exactly.
or not.
She was trafficking children, so
Give me
men
a
could
break.
rape them.
If you
know what?
believe her, shame on you.
You know
Shame
what?
on you.
What disturbs me so much about a lot of this is that I'm so disappointed in so many people. I thought we were better than this.
I'm beyond that now. Like now, if somebody actually steps up, it's like cause for celebration. It's
That's
like
true.
it's expected
I mean,
that the cowardly Republican Party will keep their mouths shut.
Look at the lengths they are willing to go to protect men and women, Ghislaine Maxwell, who have sex purposely with minor children.
Yeah.
Look at the lengths. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican.
No.
We should all be in agreement that there should be no
They
protection
should all be
and
exposed,
no
all of
cover
them.
up of this. But they are going through so much lengths to protect her and reward Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, it's been.
It makes you go,
Yeah,
right?
it's just every day I can't help but think it's just so hypocritical. And there was an article in today's Times that all the January 6th folks are being, hailed as wonderful, whereas
They're heroes.
the prosecutors are being challenged. And
Yeah.
the whole John Bolton thing.
Oh my
I
God!
mean-
They went in to search the man's house.
I can't even play this game. It's like, if I were younger, I really think I would, it's so hard to say, but to move or whatever. But, real quick before we really go off the deep end, I did want to give a shout out, and I know Peggy and I both enjoyed. We went to a new bookstore in Northport called Northport Books on 127 Main Street. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on.
So that's a new bookstore that opened up, Peg, right?
It's beautiful.
See,
I
it's
was
just-
very, very
talking
impressed.
about new bookstores.
Very impressed with her whole layout. It's a beautiful.
And
It's
so
a beautiful.
roomy.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
And she's
Yeah.
got a space in the back for events, and it's funny because she actually did an event at Turn of the Corkscrew Books and Wine for her children's books, and she's a very thoughtful, intelligent woman, and she's doing the best she can. So of course, when I was there, I had to buy a couple of things.
Of course.
The one thing I bought is this charming book called Anne of Green Gables.
love that
Look
book.
how cute this is. And I did a video of talking about it, and I'm just like, and I said something in the video, like, I may not read it, but I've already read it. But I love books as being display pieces. I just love it. And then I got this book, The Lost Art of Handwriting. How awesome is that?
Funny you said Alice.
What?
Because I actually I make my girls practice handwriting all summer long because
Really?
I do, because they don't teach it in school.
No.
They don't.
And I said,
They
people don't. You need to know how to sign
You
your
might
name and
need- you might-
read other people's letters.
Well, even like Peggy and I, we do the postcards for the
Yeah.
elections or whatever, and we're told to print Because a lot of people don't know.
can't.
You know what I always think of when I'm doing that? Because it takes so much longer to print than it is
does.
to do longhand.
Yeah.
But I do it. There were times I said, no, I'm not doing that. But now I do it. But I think, I wonder if it's a requirement for the Postal Service to be able to read script.
Oh, that's a great question. I
How
don't
do
know.
they read the addresses of the streets and
That's really interesting.
That's
Yeah.
a great question.
And
Well,
the
they
names.
plug in the zip code first, probably. Yeah, I'm trying to
No,
figure
but I
out-
mean delivering the mail.
Oh, from house to
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just,
That's an interesting question.
yeah.
Well, anyway, it's called Northport
May I
Books.
see
and-
this as you talk?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
yes.
plan a visit. Very,
I
very
think
nice
I will.
store.
And there's a lot of restaurants in the area too, which is always
Yeah.
I
nice.
love Northport Village. It's so quaint. I love it.
It really is,
Yeah.
and you're right near the water, which is
Yes, I
lovely.
used to walk around there a lot.
But I can't help but think that, there's gonna be a time where this is gonna be like secret language.
It is already. We're at that stage because they stopped teaching it in the public schools, and so this generation doesn't know how to really sign their name
Yeah.
or read or write. So like when they get cards from their grandparents now, or like older people, neighbors, they always sometimes will ask me, "What does this say?" Which prompted
Wow.
me a few years. I'd say, "Okay, you're not in school the past few summers." I'm like, "This is your summer assignments," and they get books like that, and
Yeah.
they practice it because they
I
have to
know.
learn how to read it. I'm a tough
No, but I
mom.
see this.
No, I don't even understand why they don't teach
Could you put
cursive.
this on the
Of course.
and like even in our last podcast, you were saying something about the importance of reading and how people need. And it's like when you walk into a bookstore, or even a library, there's so much to discover. It's just a world there that it's just so exciting. And I also got another book. I've got Wally Lamb's new book that I've just started.
Okay.
So if I love it, I'll review it. If I didn't love it, you won't hear about it. But anyway, so far I'm enjoying it. Anyway, so
So we
pour
need
some
wine.
Yes.
we need wine. I love the
Okay.
word need.
Need. So it's my turn for the wine,
Yes.
and it is a rosé, as you can say. Now, this is Whispering Angels 2022
Did we have that one?
rosé.
I think I did it a couple of years ago, and we had the beach not too long ago, which is made by Whispering Angel. And I actually
That's
like the
funny.
beach better, even though it's a
Alright.
cheaper wine, but
I don't
I
know.
like
If
Whispering
we had
Angel.
this, I don't recall. We do so many other wines, and we drink.
No, that's okay.
I think it's French, isn't it?
It
Yes,
is.
it is.
And so this was
You're so
something
good.
I had in the
I don't
house.
remember
It was
this
given
shit.
to me, but I've also heard so much hype about Whispering Angel too. So I thought I was going to stop on the way and get a different one, but I didn't have time. So I said, let's just do this one because I do keep hearing the name Whispering Angel. A lot of people are
It's a
reviewing
popular one.
Whispering Angel, and I'm like, what is the hype with it? It's rosé, So I thought might be a good time to do this one again, even if we did do it and see.
I don't know, I think maybe we did, but
Maybe I don't
Yes.
recall. I know we've done
Do you
rosés.
recall? Let us know.
Yeah, let us. We don't keep
That's good.
track of it too much.
I mean, I could go back into.
And
See,
see.
I don't even save all my notes anymore.
So let's see.
Oh,
As
wait,
we.
did you take a sip?
I did take a sip.
Oh, all right.
She
So
took a sip.
can you tell me
Well, now
Okay.
that you took a sip, maybe.
what are some notes about, or do you want me to just read it? Do you pick up any hints of anything?
Peach.
I'm going with pear.
Okay. No.
Raspberry.
Oh no, peach. Peach is right. So you said peach. Yes, peaches is right. That was the last one here. No pear.
Okay.
But there is a lot of fruits. So this is just a reviewer. The rewarding taste profile is full and lush while being bone dry and crisp.
Very
Yeah,
dry.
I love
The
it.
palate is fruity but not over the top, featuring flavors of strawberries, savory spices, grapefruit, lemon, mineral, cantaloupe, which I thought was interesting,
Wow.
watermelon, and peaches.
Wow.
So I said
Oh,
that
it's
It's
kind
kind
sounds
of the
pretty-
color of cantaloupe.
Yeah.
Look at it
Yes,
like
it's
that.
true. It is.
twirly,
It's
yeah.
true. So
Okay, wait. So, all right.
to the new bookstore, independent
Yes,
bookstore.
yes.
Yes.
Good.
Which I hope is a comeback and people.
And I want to
use
say,
them.
I don't know why I just got this to friendship.
To friendship.
Yep.
Very important part of our lives.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, it is. Oh,
I told you it was good.
yes.
I love that it's
Yeah.
dry.
It is dry.
I'm going.
This doesn't taste like a typical rosé to me. Let me taste it.
Most rosés are dry. I
Which I
can't
never
name one
realized
that isn't dry.
That's
I mean,
funny.
I'm sure that they do have some, but
Right.
But
right.
usually, I mean, I do drink rosé, but I usually find it to be more on the sweet side sometimes, and I don't like that.
there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Like I just ordered a whole bunch of them, and I only get dry ones. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never come across one that was sweet.
This is lovely.
Yeah.
So
You know what? It is. It is.
what would we
Okay.
pay for it, and how much alcohol?
Well, I'm pretty sure Whispering Angel and Total Wine is like $23 or something.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
like $22.99 or $23.99.
See, now I was going to say, since you said that, that threw me off because I was going to say like $15.95.
Peggy's right.
Yeah.
At Total Wines, it's
Even.
$22.99.
Yeah, I've bought
right
it
on that,
before.
yeah.
Okay,
So.
and the alcohol content?
I'm gonna say it's a rosé 13.5.
12.
13 on the nose.
I was going to say 13, and then I was like, no, I'm going to be a little different. Okay.
This is light, and this
Okay.
I think fits. This is light. It's good. It's dry, and it fits a day drinking vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's French, right? And what region is it
Okay.
from?
Parlez-vous français?
I wish I did. It would have come in handy when I went to France.
Yeah.
Des Clans, Caves des Clans, Côte de Provence,
Okay.
Sacha Lechine. I don't know if that helps you. Oh, in the Esclans Valley. In the Esclans Valley, that's what it
Okay.
says. You might, all right. Angels whisper there, apparently. If you drink
Okay.
the wine, you might hear them. If you
Ooh.
chance,
Well, I'll keep
if by
trying.
chance you visit us, you
Angel
might see
of
them.
Death,
Sasha,
please answer my prayer.
Oh, wouldn't
Oh, I would feel so powerful. I would start going to church again.
and I know what your prayers are like.
You know, I would give this for a rosé 5
Yes.
wildflowers.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yes, no, I agree. This is a
Yeah.
lovely
Wow, the
Now
wine.
try Beach.
beach. I say I have a little running list of things
B-E-A-C-H.
to try.
Yeah.
And
By
it's
Whispering
made by
Pines.
Whispering Angel, and it's also delicious and a little bit cheaper. I think it's $17.99.
All right.
It's a very nice rosé also.
Well, this was a gift, so thank you. And I'm glad it saved me a trip to the wine store today.
So do you have wine at home that you can drink?
I do. We usually, like, as you know, we're boring. We usually drink our Bantera. So I think
Yeah.
it was either Bantera or this, or I had,
Right.
I had Prosecco, which I really didn't want to do to you.
Oh,
you know,
I
Yeah.
don't
so,
want Prosecco, but
I tried a really good one when I was in
Good what, Prosecco?
wine.
Oh,
No,
oh.
white wine. It was a blend. And when I was in Cape Cod, and I can't find it anywhere.
Oh.
They have it on wine.com, but I don't want to pay all the money that they're going to charge me to ship it.
Oh,
You know. So
well, you know how we often say we don't like Long Island wines?
yes.
Well, when I went out east with the girls, we went to Pomonic, that was the first vineyard, and they had a Cabernet, and a Cabernet Franc.
that's the one that we tasted.
Where,
That's the one that
Where?
here.
On the podcast.
We did a tasting with it, and
Pomonic?
we all loved it. I thought it was Parma, and yesterday I was ordering wine, and I saw Pomonic. I looked up Cabernet Franc, Pomonic, and I said, "That's the one that we tasted, and
I
we
really-
all loved it."
Well, I went to Stu Leonard's and I bought a bottle again, and I'm very upset with myself because I left it in the car overnight. So I don't know.
It's
if it was-
fine. It
It's
wasn't
fine.
hot
Well,
out.
during the day overnight.
It's
like
fine,
I was
it's fine.
It's fine. It wasn't that hot.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I was like, oh, we'll do this. So if we've already done it in the future.
Do it again because I like it. I ordered a bottle too.
Yeah, and we-
I ordered a bottle last
Yeah.
night, so I have a delivery
I
coming between
purposely-
5 and 7.
Okay.
You know, it might be funny to see the old podcast where we reviewed it to see if our review
Oh,
matches
that's true.
up
That's
to
true.
this
You know
one.
what? I wish I knew which one it was.
Which podcast?
Yeah, because I'm 99% sure it was
Well,
Pomonic.
you know, all you have to do is go through all our videos and just, everyone
watch
has
them.
a description. No, it
Oh.
has a description in each one.
Oh.
There's a description.
But
of
we have
the-
Yeah, there's 106.
Yeah, but well, we can get a guesstimate of
I
going
wonder
back.
if I wrote it in my little wine book. Sometimes
could
I
be.
actually do that.
That could be. Well, But anyway, I was like, I went into Stu Leonard's because I saw that they carried it, and I said, I had to give the guy. I was like, I don't usually like Long Island wines, but he was
Sure,
very
he
nice.
was fascinated.
No, he was very nice. He was very nice about it. And I was like, and I didn't even need to buy more wine, but again, that word need.
Well, I got down to like 2 bottles of wine. Well, I had 2 bottles of red, and then the red that I brought here for the last podcast, and then I had a rosé, the Beach, and a Chardonnay, and the Beach I opened last night and drank half.
Well, that's about as much as I
Yeah.
have. I probably need to.
No, I like to have like 12 bottles of wine. I like to know I have a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
In case a pandemic hits.
You never know. You never.
I'm gonna
And the prices are going up on wine.
Yeah.
Prices are going up everywhere.
I know.
Because,
Well, do you think it could be because of the
tariffs?
tariffs?
Well,
Oh, yeah. And
But
I think so.
real quick, I just have to, when talking about wine, I just have to say this. It was like, last night, it was around 8:30 and I didn't have any wine open. And I'm like, I don't need to open any wine. And then I played a game with myself. If there's any mention of wine on the TV shows that I'm watching, I will open a bottle.
So
and
she
there
put on
was,
one.
I watched a game show, The Chase. I forget, anyway. And one question was about Pinot Grigio. I'm like, okay.
It's the universe communicating to me.
I play games. with
See, on
myself.
Saturday, I'm just, it's like a free day. Friday and Saturday and Sunday, it's like, I'm drinking wine. I don't
Yeah.
need an excuse. I don't feel guilty.
Right, right.
I just do it.
Well, I was like, I'm like, Karen, you really don't need it. And I'm like, I wasn't like, I need, but then when I was like, I'll play a game.
It's not need, it's just
Enjoyable.
having that glass and smelling it and taking little sips.
It is
To me,
relaxing. I
it's
consider it,
very
yeah.
relaxing. It like sets the tone for the whole evening.
My problem is that I like to pick on something while I'm drinking.
Well,
wine.
then that's a, yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Anyway, okay. Oh, we forgot to flip that.
Oh,
didn't we?
oh,
well.
That's always my job.
Oh, I'm going to borrow your glasses again
Okay,
because
there you are.
I
They look cute on
Wait,
you.
try these on. Look how strong they are. I did not realize.
They're fine.
Well,
They're
these.
fine. I'll wear these and you can wear those.
All right. Okay. All right. So it's my
Oh.
turn for the book,
Okay.
and the book that I'm going to be talking about is called Family of Spies by Christine Kuehn. It's funny. Her last name is Kuehn. Whereas the last podcast that was Kuehn was
Yes.
a Nazi. But so this will come out, I believe, in November. I believe it's November. I did look it up. Maybe I wrote it down. Anyway, the subtitle is A World War II Story of Nazi Espionage, Betrayal, and the Secret History Behind Pearl Harbor. So, it's, published November 25th this year. So I'm going to read the back cover description because I think it's very interesting. So it's a propulsive, never-before-told story of one family's shocking involvement as Nazi and Japanese spies during World War II and the pivotal role they played in the bombing of Pearl Harbor. It began with a call from a screenwriter asking about a story, Your Family, World War II, Nazi Spies. Christine Kuehn was shocked and confused. When she asked her 70-year-old father, Eberhard, what this could possibly be about, he stalled, deflected, demurred, and then wept. He knew this day would come. The Kuehns, a once prominent Berlin family, saw the rise of the Nazis as a way out of the hard times that had befallen them. When the daughter of the family, Eberhard's sister, Ruth, met Nazi leader Joseph Goebbels at a party, the two hit it off, and they had an affair. But Ruth had a secret. She was half Jewish, and Goebbels found out. Rather than having Ruth killed, Goebbels instead sent the entire Kuehn family to Hawaii to work as spies half a world away. There, Ruth and her parents established an intricate spy operation from their home, just a few miles down the road from Pearl Harbor, shielding Eberhard from the truth. They passed secrets to the Japanese, leading to the devastating attack on Pearl Harbor. After Eberhard's father was arrested and tried for his involvement in planning the assault, Eberhard learned the harsh truth about his family and faced a decision that would change the path of the Kuehn family forever. Jumping back and forth between Christine discovering her family's secret and the untold past of the spies in Germany, Japan, and Hawaii, Family of Spies is fast-paced history at its finest and will rewrite the narrative of December 7th, 1941.
That's already hooked me. I'm writing that down to my list.
You can take this if you
Oh,
want.
yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
so I just love her, the way she told the story. As she wrote it, you just kept turning the pages. It was so fascinating and shocking to hear what she had no idea about. So it's 1976 when the author, Christine Kuehn, was first contacted. It was the beginning of her research that took years because she doubted it. She didn't think it could be possibly true. But initially, she and her husband went to the local Borders bookstore in Maryland and headed to the World War II section to see if they could find any info that would reveal the secrets that have been kept from her all her life. They did find some books and purchased them. One was titled At Dawn We Slept, The Untold Story of Pearl Harbor. In the index was the name Kuehn, Bernard Julius Otto, the author's grandfather. Just to see that was like
Shocking.
Yeah.
Wow.
So while reading the memoir, I found so many comparisons though to what's happening today. It's just Hitler wrote Mein Kampf, meaning my struggle, when he served time in prison, having been charged with treason. But after 9 months in jail, he was pardoned by a sympathetic Bavarian Supreme Court. Again.
That could never happen here.
Yeah. I don't know why I laugh, because I want to cry
It's
half
not
the time.
funny, I know.
No. Otto was a candidate to set up a network of spies for the Nazis and competing for the position with a Schutzwaffel officer by the name, I'll just stick with awful, by the name of Reinhard Heydrich, later nicknamed the Butcher of Prague. Here's his description, let me know what you think it sounds like. From page 46. Heydrich was a monster among monsters. When I looked at his photo, this is from the author, when I looked at his photos, his mole rat appearance with tiny dead eyes set in a long sloping face made me ill. Who did that make you think of?
Stephen Miller.
Yes!
Yeah, Stephen Miller.
He
All
has
right,
sharp
yeah.
eyes, Stephen
No,
Miller, he does.
He's like a little weasel.
Yeah, but Stephen Miller, that's
like
immediately the image I got.
That's what I got too when you read that.
Yeah. So here's why Trump puts Hitler on a pedestal. Page 52, read last paragraph. Should have had bookmarks put in here. Hitler wasted no time consolidating his power. Less than a month later, the Reichstag was set on fire, gutting the home of the German legislature. Hitler convinced the aging president of the Republic, Field Marshal Paul von Hindenburg, that the destruction was caused by the communists in a plot to overtake Germany. Hindenburg signed an emergency order suspending most civil liberties, including freedom of the press, free expression, and habeas corpus, which protects against unlawful imprisonment. 3 Communist Party members and party leader Ernst Togler was arrested, along with Dutch wanderer Marinus de Loop, and charged with setting the fire. And the next 2, I'm not going to read all of this. I'll just read a little bit more. With their control of Germany almost complete, the Nazis moved quickly. In April, they established the Gestapo, combining all facets of the Nazi secret police. They passed a law forcing all non-Aryans to retire from the legal profession and civil service, the first official step in their attack on the Jews. So, she really helped educate me on so many things as I'm reading this, and she was educated too. And do you know what the name Führer means? F-U-H-R-E-R? Do you know?
I assumed that it meant leader. That's just
Well,
what I
aren't
assumed.
you just so fucking smart? Yeah, leader or guide. Yeah, exactly. So not supposed to know that.
I am smart.
You are, but
I don't look smart.
She
No,
sounds
you do
smart.
too.
You do. She
Okay.
reads.
Yes, exactly. So all right, so the author writes about the Nazis at Madison Square Garden, which I talked about in the last podcast, with their swastikas and salutes, as well as the German-American Bund. So she talks about that here too. The Nazis trying to inculcate American. No, that was just me, Jethro.
No, I heard something.
Yeah, someone's coming in.
They're home. All right, there's a double agent who's actually, there's a double agent in this book that was actually the inspiration for Ian Fleming's James Bond.
Oh, cool.
Which
Oh, that's intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
author explains how she managed to get so many details, because I kept thinking, this was years and years of research,
Yes.
but she was
Yeah.
determined, and it was
Well, it's
hard.
pretty much our family history.
Yes, but
It's
her
a big
fa-
genealogy.
and her Aunt Ruth, who was dating Goebbels,
Was she still alive?
no, she recently died, but she totally did not, she just.
She denied it.
Yeah, she did, and for the longest time.
Wow.
But she
She's
writes
probably
about it.
mortified.
Oh, really? I mean, it's like what they went through, and the fact that even her father, he never ever shared it, and said, of course, it was unearthed. Thank goodness, because it could have gone down with
Who
no.
would want to
Yeah.
admit that in your
In your
family?
family.
Yeah, really.
It's- Yeah.
So, all right. So she explains how she managed to get so many details. Much of it is disturbing, but she writes about it in a way that you want to just keep reading. And let me just conclude on page 226. Okay. I still wake up in the middle of the night with an overwhelming sense of dread, knowing that my family played a key role in the tragedy at Pearl Harbor. They gave signals and everything to trigger this guy, and that there is nothing I can do to change that. We all have family secrets, don't we, connected to acts in our bloodline from long ago. But we're not locked into following that path. Each of us gets to choose the type of person we want to be and the footprint we want to leave on the world. And that kind of
And
goes
that's
back
to what I was saying
Yes.
before.
to the earlier podcast.
You know, like you could blame it, I was raised that
Thank
way,
you.
but you
Like-
get to a point in your life when you have to examine, you know, what your
Right.
family taught you and choose right over wrong.
Exactly.
You know, it's so, I'm intrigued by this because what this family, and I mean, starting with Aunt Ruth,
Right,
you know, and
right.
the father and all that, it's a really interesting ethical
Lacey.
dilemma. You know, an ethical dilemma in this way, kind of like they did something horrible. You know, what they ended. You look at like, oh my God, they acted as spies, but it was likely a life or death choice, right?
Right.
You know, and so, you know, a lot of times I hear, like, I've had very interesting conversations with people about what's going on now with Trump and all of this stuff, and people said, well, you know, to survive, if the world went up in smoke, you know, with this whole, the way where it's, you know, the way it seems like it's going, you know, some people are like, I'll fly the Trump flag if I have to just to kind of survive.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I don't
No,
agree
I'm not
at
agreeing
all.
with that, but I'm just, in a way, it's kind of like, it's similar to what it may have happened here. You know, it's like,
Right.
either do this, or what was their alternative? They would be sent to the concentration camps, her and a whole family, and then there wouldn't be a person here to write a book like this and to tell us. You know, and
But
so
the damage that
interesting.
her family did.
Absolutely. No, but it's one of those big kind of moral, ethical dilemmas, I think, you know, that you could talk about. And
I'd like
It is a dilemma,
Yeah.
and you have to hope it's what the cowardly Republicans are doing now
Yeah.
to keep their power and their jobs. They're just not stopping
Democracy being
being destroyed. I mean, that they don't care about the Constitution anymore.
Yeah.
That they handed their power of the purse, all of their power
Yeah.
over to this administration, and they don't speak out. I'm
and your
sorry, it's
governors,
despicable.
like
Lose
the
your
one
fucking
in
job.
Texas, who are now
Abbott.
redistricting, you know,
Yes.
I know.
they are just kowtowing to, you know, he wants
Right.
more power. He
Yeah.
doesn't like that the House can be overthrown, because we're facing a
Because
big,
he knows that probably the House is going to change in
Right.
2026.
Absolutely. So what are they doing? You hear? I heard Abbott just speak. Was it this morning or yesterday? I think it was this morning where he
He's
was.
a piece of shit.
It might have been a replay of what he said, more than likely. But it was like, well, there are Republicans living in Democratic-controlled areas that we have to give them a voice. What about the Democrats
Living in the Republican
Republican-controlled
areas?
state?
Yeah.
Did you
Completely.
see Congresswoman Johnson? You
Oh, yeah.
shared it or commented
Yeah,
on it
yeah.
in Texas, and she read the riot act
Yeah, good for
in
her.
Texas in front of these
And-
legislators.
Gavin Newsom, I'm with you too.
I know.
And
It's
Proposition
so-
50.
It's so
Vote yes.
upsetting, though. That this is what because it is a tit for tat. It shouldn't be done. Period.
No, it's bad for
No.
everyone. It's bad for this
Yeah.
country. But what are we supposed to do?
I don't know.
What are we supposed to do?
As you
Let
can
them
tell.
take over?
This is a topic that we just can't get away from it because it's that dangerous.
I know. We're
But
going to go
anyway,
down a rabbit hole.
yeah,
This
anyway,
is my topic
well,
today.
Oh,
I just
okay,
want
well,
to
then
give
good.
us 5 wildflowers. I just wanted to
I'm
throw
looking
that
forward to reading
5
this. Thank
wildflowers.
you.
Yeah,
This seems
very
something
welcome.
that very, very interesting to
You're
me.
very
So the topic that I picked was how Trump is trying.
She can't even say his name.
I can't. I just
Gets caught in
freaking
the
hate him
throat.
so much.
Clint.
How the fucking moron is trying to take
Anytime she
away
says
our
it.
right to vote. That's what
Well,
he's doing. That's right now is the
because-
focus. Let's get these
Oh,
people
right.
that wouldn't vote for us.
Right.
Let's take away their rights. Let's
Yeah.
make it harder
That's
for them
what's
to
And
happening.
vote.
if you're
When you-
not paying attention, shame on
Shame
you.
on
That's
you.
what
Shame on you.
redistricting is doing.
Exactly.
This
It
is what
is.
it is.
It
doing.
is racism because what
Yeah.
they're doing
I wouldn't even want
is
to-
they are. I'll have a little more
Yeah.
too, even though I normally don't day drink.
It's
That's enough because
You're
I do
gonna
have
hate
to
it.
drive home and function. I have to make dinner.
mac and cheese. Peggy's famous.
We all need to know. The more you know.
So, this whole redistricting thing, if you see it, I did see it on Facebook, and her name, I can't remember her name, I think her last name is Johnson,
Right.
and she is a congresswoman in Texas
I'll
where
find
this
it.
is happening. And she called them out for being racist because what
Right.
they're doing is taking away the fairly elected representatives that the people
Yeah.
in this
And Johnson.
and Johnson, that the people in this district voted for to represent them, they're taking their representation away from them.
You gotta listen to her because
Really,
she doesn't.
look for it.
Because you know what's gonna happen now. Trump's gonna say that she's a loser. and
Oh
that she-
yeah, I know.
she's-
She's a sleazebag.
He'll disparage her appearance.
She's a
and all of this
socialist.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
The same-
ugly.
He's got a playbook. He can
Yeah.
go to any page and that's
Yeah.
what he'll do.
So anyway, I printed out this whole thing and highlighted some things because it ended up being like so many pages long, and it was just like some things that Trump is doing, and not only Trump, his
No, it's
sycophants,
not gonna
the this
Right.
Republican administration,
Exit.
along with Project 2025,
Miller.
are doing to make it harder for people who are unlikely to vote for Republicans vote.
Right.
And one of the it's out there
Mail-in
again,
voting.
mail-in ballots.
Oh my God.
Mail-in ballots,
Yeah.
he wants to eliminate them completely, and he wants to eliminate voting machines.
Yeah.
Every voter
wonder
in the
why.
United States has used at one time or another a voting machine. And he wants to do this because he claims that there's fraud. But there is no evidence, and God knows they tried
Right.
in 2020. God knows they tried.
Something.
Yeah.
Oh my
come
God,
on,
how
give me
they
a solid.
tried to say that there was voter fraud, that there were dead people voting, that there were immigrants voting.
But the thing is,
Fraud in
is that
voting is extremely
if he-
rare.
If he says it and his base thinks, oh well, it's got to be true, and therein lies a huge problem.
It is a problem that people don't fact check things,
Exactly.
and there's many, many ways to fact check.
You could
Yep.
read
So-
the court opinions, the many court opinions that have come down and said that there wasn't.
Yeah.
You could read them for yourself.
And you know that in 2020, that the Republicans tried very, very hard for years to find evidence, and they found none. And the reason for that is because it didn't happen. The amount
do you
of
hear them
voter
talk about that? No.
no, the amount of voter fraud that there is, and I'm not saying it never happens, would never. It is so little that it would never affect an election.
Right.
So the most recent thing that he did was he revoked the security clearance of 37 current and former national security officials, many of whom analyzed foreign threats to U.S. elections. And we know why he did that. Because Russia always helps him because, they're like this, Putin's a good guy.
But like you said, we wonder what he has over him.
Well, I think it's the golden showers video.
So, yeah.
I just still can't. We, as America being supposed to be the leader of democracy, rolled out the red carpet for His Excellency, their own words, Vladimir Putin, who has international.
And he must say
Warrants out for his arrest.
Warrants for his arrest.
And he knows Trump's the buffalo.
And he gave him a ride in his limo, welcomed, shook his hand, and His Excellency, Vladimir Putin. That's what he called him, a war criminal.
I know. He's selling out Ukraine, is what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Because
he's selling out the United States of America.
Well, he had that meeting with the heads of state of, 6 other European nations. And before he had to interrupt the meeting to go to a phone call with Putin, and when he came back, he reversed all of his decisions about putting boots on the ground and supporting Ukraine and the ceasefire. No more. All of a sudden, no more ceasefire because whatever Putin tells him to do, that's what he does.
He's so unqualified to be president of the United States. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So anyway, getting back to elections. In 2020, 2022, and 2024, our nation held federal elections. Despite the pandemic, threats of violence, denial of results, and extraordinary pressure. Now, the denial of results came in with January 6th.
Right.
These were secure and accurate. Election officials worked together across party lines, and the system held, including the Vice President then of the United States, who refused to comply with the wishes of that fascist asshole who is running this country. I don't even like Mike Pence, but kudos to you for at least having some honor.
And we know now Vance will be right up his ass and do whatever he wants.
Yeah, Vance will do the opposite. So is his wife. His wife is the most disappointing woman in this country.
She is.
This woman who used to be a Democrat and she's a lawyer. Are you kidding me?
No.
Oh, well, anyway, this year, however, there's a new threat to free and fair elections has emerged, and that's the federal government itself.
Yeah.
And I just made a sign for Carol and I are going to a rally on Tuesday in Merrick. It's called Stop the Chaos. And the sign says, America should not have to protect democracy from the President of the United States.
That's right.
And that's what we're doing. We're fighting the President of the United States.
And the Supreme Court.
Yeah, and Congress.
Yeah.
This whole administration is corrupt. All right, the Trump administration has launched a concerted drive to undermine American elections. They began with the pardon of the January 6th defendants who sought to overturn the 2020 results. So those people who were traitors, who were violent, who killed police officers, were all pardoned and released from prison. And some of them are in the administration now.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make you feel hopeful for the future?
This is the part that I don't want to I'm going to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
That astounds me. Is that we all saw it on our TVs.
Yeah.
We all saw what they did.
Well, not if you watch Fox News, you didn't see it.
Maybe that's true. But they defecated in the Capitol building. They did all this stuff.
Police officers lost their lives.
Yeah.
As what they did.
And Trump tried to make it like, oh, it was a peaceful. and that very day, January 6th, some Trumpers were posting on Facebook, like, oh, I heard that it was the, what was the group they tried to blame? People going in to
Yes,
cause
yes, it was Antifa.
Some of my friends on Facebook were
Yeah.
calling these people patriots.
Yeah.
And it prompted me to do a very big thing that, no, let me tell you what a
Yeah.
patriot is.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not a patriot. I'm
That's
going to
right.
go with I said,
That's
no, no,
right.
no.
No.
So anyway, the Trump administration has launched a concerted drive to undermine American elections, and we all know
It's working.
what's going on in Texas, and now California is doing the same thing, which I don't blame them, but it's not good for this country to be fooling around with this.
People are voting.
Yes, but that's what they want
They
to do.
want to
They
do.
want
Right.
to do
So
that, but
it
they
would
have to
not be
pass a
challenged by the Supreme Court.
It's a
Right.
proposition that's in
Right.
their
But which was
rules.
different from what Texas did.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
So I want
well,
to make
people
that
wouldn't
clear.
vote for
Yeah.
it. I think they wouldn't pass a proposition in Texas because there is still, I think, enough
Right.
Democrats that would
Yeah.
say no to this. But.
Sure.
Well, the problem with the whole thing is that this sets a terrible precedent,
Yeah,
and this
but
is
he's-
going to happen
The next
with every single
But Newsom,
administration.
if I remember correctly, he said this is going to be something temporary because it's somehow we have to fight what's going on in Texas.
Yeah, well, temporary, sure. Who knows?
Well,
Yeah.
that's they're setting
I
us up.
think-
They're desensitizing us. It's the reason what's happening in D.C. They're desensitizing us. He's saying this is needed for an emergency. There is no emergency other than what's happening to our democracy.
What? Who's saying this?
Trump is
Oh,
that
okay.
he
I thought
needs
you
us
said
to
Gavin.
control.
You didn't-
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're desensitizing
Yeah,
us.
yeah. I have
He-
to do this executive
This
order
power
because
should only be used for an emergency.
it's like a real emergency.
He's creating an emergency,
Mhm.
and this is what's happening in Texas.
the emergency is that the
In their own
Republicans
minds.
might get voted out.
Exactly.
That's the
That's
emergency.
the emergency, and don't be fooled.
Yeah.
They're lying to you.
They really
my
are.
lying use a lot these
I
days.
know. Well, I can't possibly go through everything here, so I'll just do
The way we
a
keep
couple.
interrupting
Oh,
you.
I know,
Sarah.
attempting to rewrite election rules and interfere with election administration via executive order, what we were just talking about. In March 2025, President Trump issued an executive order that aims to overhaul and exert partial control over significant parts of the nation's election systems. The order includes several provisions. Here we highlight three. First, the order purports to direct the Election Assistance Commission, that's the EAC, an independent, bipartisan agency that assists states with election administration, to mandate that voters show a passport or other similar document proving citizenship when they register to vote using the federal voter registration form. First of all, there is, as I already said, there's like very, very little voter fraud going on, especially with immigrants.
And
It's just
think
bullshit.
about how you register. Usually, when you get your driver's license, now we are in this heightened driver's license requirement where you do have to show and present. We all know it. You
Yeah.
have your stamp, your star, your
Yep.
flag. You have to present so many documentation to get registered for your driver's license.
Exactly.
And then you register for vote. Like my girls just did that through that. You register for vote that way. And now they want you to present the same sort of document each time you go. You've already done it.
You know what? And first of all, it's not really a problem where we live.
Right.
It's a problem
They created
in
this
poor
emergency.
communities,
Right.
in rural communities.
Yeah.
These people aren't going to have that kind of documentation.
But
They
that's-
can't get it that
and that's
easily.
what they're hoping.
That's what they're trying to get.
Yeah.
People who are not likely to vote for them not to be able to vote.
Yep.
Right.
They don't let, in some states, I don't know if it's all over the place, I think it's in some states, you can't have people passing out water,
Right,
bottles of
right,
water or
right.
snacks to people who have to wait on long lines. We never have to wait on long lines to
right,
vote.
Yeah.
Because there's so many locations where you could vote in the Northeast and around major cities. But these people, sometimes there is few and far between. They can't have a bottle of water.
The mail-in voting, like you started with too. I said,
I know.
this is supposed to be an administration pro-law enforcement, pro-military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
how is the military that are deployed
Yeah.
I know.
and in bases away from
Exactly.
home supposed to vote?
I know. All right, so first the order purports to direct we already went through that. Second, it attempts to force the EAC, that's the Election Assistance Commission, bipartisan independent group, to amend its guidelines to rescind all previous certifications of voting equipment
Oh my God.
based on prior standards. And if appropriate, to recertify voting systems under amended guidelines, which are to include provisions from the executive order. 11 states and Washington, D.C. require their systems to be federally certified already.
I bet you.
And even states that do not require federal certification typically incorporate federal guidelines and testing and use voting systems that have been federally certified.
I would love to see who gets the contract for those certification machines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, replacing the machines is going to cost states billions of dollars.
Oh, yeah. And it'll be
It'll be blue states.
administration friendly
Yeah, exactly.
companies that
Yeah.
have access to all of this.
Okay, so it's not novel that he's interfering with the voting machines, okay? In his first term, he tried to direct the Attorney General, the Department of Defense, and the Department of Homeland Security to seize voting machines. He was unsuccessful then, but he's
Now.
not going to be now.
No.
Yet now
No,
there
no,
are
no.
signs that the federal government may already be attempting to interfere with voting systems beyond anything expressed in the executive
He
order.
told us we'll never have to vote again.
A
Yeah,
DHS
yeah,
official and an individual claiming to work for the administration have asked election officials in Colorado for access to their voting equipment. And third, the order calls on the administration's new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, and DHS to obtain state voter files and other records kept by election officials. Are you freaking kidding me? They have sensitive private information about U.S. citizens.
They already have that information because DOGE had access to the federal
Yeah.
government and has everything.
They also want to impose a show your papers requirements on voters. So now we're going back to Nazi Germany. May I see your
Yeah.
papers,
Yeah.
please? You know.
Imagine how long
So-
those lines will be. People checking your papers.
I know.
and, oh, you don't have this? Go to this
I know,
line. Go to
I
that
know.
line. You know,
Okay, more than 21 million citizens do not have a birth certificate, a passport, or naturalization papers readily available. So if you don't prepare like 6 to 8 months ahead of time when you want to register to vote or go to vote, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Because some of these people live in the middle of nowhere, and
Yeah.
you can imagine how difficult it would be.
You know where
Living in a place where we live, it still takes weeks and weeks to get a document.
a lot of people who came here and live here permanently from Puerto Rico face this issue
Oh,
because the records in Puerto Rico for birth certificates were very
sketchy.
sketchy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they
well,
weren't
that it
reliable.
wasn't but exactly.
But, you know, there was a movement many years, probably about a decade ago or so, to try to get people to get their birth certificate and track them down, but wasn't perfect. And as you know, we have a large Puerto Rican
community, especially
in Florida,
here in Florida.
New York,
yeah.
New Jersey, Northeast, and so that could affect a lot of people,
Of
Puerto
course.
Ricans.
Yeah.
I do wonder about my girls because, they had visas and I'm curious if that would even be an issue
They have visas for what?
when they came from Korea.
But they're citizens.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely citizens, but so are
But
a
they
lot of
may need
people.
their birth certificate.
Right, and we have the birth certificate, but I have to look at them. But anyway, that's
They have
another-
passports anyway.
That's
so they
true.
already went through that. They have a passport.
Oh, you just
So,
put me at ease.
yeah,
You just
yeah.
put me at ease.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so why it's wrong to show your papers, okay? A president has no right to rewrite the country's election rules or regulate federal elections on its own. As a federal court recently put it, the Constitution vests none of these powers in the president. And almost every single thing, every single point, that's what it's saying.
It's the 10th Amendment.
He is overstepping his power, and Congress is handing it over to him. The Supreme Court is handing it over to him, and the Senate.
If the power is not specifically designated to the federal government under the 10th Amendment, this is federalism. It's the tenets of federalism. It's a state power.
Exactly.
And that's what election law is. It's
Exactly.
a state power. So
Yeah.
he, as by doing this, is violating the 10th Amendment
Everything
of our Constitution, right? To be
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah.
everything that we talk about, I can't help but think we are heading to a civil war. I'm really scared. I'm really thinking because he's giving weapons to those in D.C. now. I don't know.
What side do you want to be on?
Yeah, I'm like,
Ask yourself that. What side do you want to be
like
on?
it's going to. I'm like, this is. You know, you look at us, the three women here. Oh, they're being hyperbolic.
No.
This is. We're in dire times now.
Look at some of our podcasts before the election.
Yeah.
What we've talked about has come to fruition in a
Mhm.
lot of ways.
Yeah.
So if you think we are being hyperbolic and you know dramatic,
Right.
It's not.
it's really not.
Pick up a newspaper. Pick
The
up
right-
a newspaper.
the right one.
Listen to different sources
Yeah, different
of
sources.
news. It's
Right.
It's pretty damn scary
Read
what's going on.
I love international
Yes, yes.
newspapers. I read them with a fervor. It's
Yeah.
to see what is happening internationally, and it's so interesting too with what's going on, unfortunately, in Israel and Palestine.
God.
Oh my God.
We are on the wrong side of history there
yeah.
in this fight, and so just expand your horizon.
It's and you know what? I get it. It's hard, especially you're raising a family. You're trying, like you said before, trying to stay ahead of the bills, and it can be so. And I know that you and I've talked about it too. It's so easy sometimes just to check out, but we don't have that
Luxury.
exactly.
Choose where you check out. Don't turn to TikTok. Turn to
Well, there's some good things,
international
but there are
news.
some good things on
Yeah,
TikTok.
that can't be your major
Yeah,
source
that's
of
what I'm
news.
saying.
It can't be on the internet.
No, is that what it
Because
is?
you don't
Yeah.
know who's posting that stuff. But anyway, he's meddling with election equipment. He doesn't have the right to do that. He's assessing sensitive voter file data. Doge has a track record of mishandling that sensitive data, as we know.
Mishandling a lot
For
of things.
example,
Yeah.
within minutes after it gained access to the National Labor Relation Board systems in March, someone with a Russian IP address made several attempts to access the database using one of the department's newly created accounts.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be doing that stuff.
Russia.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. How that
Targeting
happens.
election officials and civil society. The Trump administration, falsely claiming that the 2020 presidential election was stolen, has already targeted organizations and individuals it sees as adverse with baseless or inappropriate retaliatory actions. It now threatens to do the same with certain election officials, civic groups that mobilize voters, and other individuals and entities that protect elections and the rule of law. These kinds of actions can be tools of retribution, intimidation, and coercion. He's weaponizing federal agencies. We see that every day on the news.
Yep.
The DOJ's Weaponization Working Group, the New Jersey U.S. Attorney's Office Election Integrity Task Force, and the Washington, D.C. Attorney's Office Special Unit Election Accountability established a federal law enforcement approach to elections, focusing on targeting voters, election officials, perceived political adversaries, and journalists. The task forces devote resources to search for supposedly widespread voter fraud, a problem that doesn't exist, and sanction political targeting. I mean, I could go on and on. I have pages and pages
I think we
and
might need to do a
pages.
part 2 on that one,
Yeah,
Peggy.
yeah, I think so. I'll continue it with
Yeah,
the next
I
one.
think that's a good
Because
idea.
it's just a,
It's not going to stop, so it'll still be.
no, it's not
relevant
gonna
for the next
stop.
time
And
you
we
do
have
it.
an election coming up in November, and then in
Exactly.
2026.
Do a part 2.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
But I wanted to mention that September 16th is National Voter Registration Day. And I wish that we still had the bookstore because
Yeah.
people could do that. And I kind of brought it up to Theodore's, but not with Chloe. And I know that the owner of the bookstore is politically involved, and I know he's trying not to alienate people from shopping in the
Yeah.
store. But I wish I had a place that I could do it, and you just sit at a table, they give you training, and you help people register to vote. And it's bipartisan, by the way.
Right.
It isn't like it's anybody.
Anybody.
You don't know who they're voting for. You're
Right,
just
right.
helping them to vote.
Right.
So I'm gonna try and find some place that maybe we could do that. That
That's a
would
great
be.
idea. Keep me included. I'd
Yeah,
like to
I
help
know.
if I can. Maybe at the
Maybe
library
that's
or-
what I was thinking. Maybe at a library or.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So, you could get information about where you can vote or how you can register in the New York State Board of Elections. Every state has one. If you're not in New York State, just go to your State Board of Elections.
Yeah.
Let's see, in 2024, nearly 40 million people voted by mail. Nearly every voter in the country uses a voting machine. Keep these things in mind. These are things he's trying to pull away from you to
Right.
make it harder for you to vote. Trump wants to eliminate mailed ballots and voting machines because he, without proof, claims fraud, so perhaps he lost the election.
Well, that's what I wanted to say.
You know what?
You have to ask
Interesting.
yourself, really, you have to ask
Yeah.
yourself, why is he doing this?
Elon Musk
Right.
did say he gave him the election.
Oh, he
How-
said, and boy, does he know those machines.
Yep.
So perhaps
What-
Donald Trump shouldn't be president.
If we are
Maybe
going
Kamala
this way,
Harris won.
Yeah.
One thing I think everybody watching should also know about, which is I only learned this recently. Your United States passport, you can't travel on it if it's going to expire within 3 months.
Yes,
I did not
exactly.
know that.
Yeah, I
Now,
knew that.
You may have heard that there was a lot of rifts and firing of government employees. So the wait time for passports may be difficult. So if you have
Yeah.
a passport, which is something I have to get into myself, that is coming up to expiration,
Yep.
you might want to start doing that process a little bit.
That's
I
good
thought
to
it
know.
was within 6 months.
No, I think it's 3 months, but with the wait time.
Yeah.
And now that you have to wait, it might be smarter to get on it sooner rather than
I
later.
remember when I was going one of the places I was going with Samantha, and my passport was going to it was near expiration. I read that you do it within, if it's going to expire within 6 months, you have to.
Oh,
Maybe it depends on what
I
country
think
you're
the
going
country-
to.
And you know
or-
me, I always travel to Ireland, and
Yeah.
so I have one that's actually at the 6-month mark.
Yeah,
So I gotta get
yeah, you
going.
better renew
Yeah.
it. So,
So.
yeah, mine is good. I have years. Yeah,
But
Yeah,
that's something you
so.
should know, because if they are going to require a passport or some other
Uh-huh.
document, you
Yeah.
need to look and
Exactly.
prepare for the election.
Or
just
if you
in
need
case.
to escape the country. That's,
Play the game as much as you can.
Did we
Yeah.
depress you enough? If not, then there's a problem. because
Well,
you
wait
should
for
have-
part 2, and then
Yeah.
you'll really be depressed.
Oh, God.
All right.
Well, thank
Stop
you,
and enjoy
guys.
the view.
No,
Sorry, I threw this thing.
no, oh, God.
The book I'm currently reading is called Automatic Noodle, and
Oh, that's
takes
right.
place.
yeah.
It takes place in the future, and I had sent you a couple
You
of
did it, yeah.
sentences that were in it. But in the book, the United States, California is its own country,
Ah,
and the United States, there was a war between California and the United
that's
States.
so funny.
And that line, like, I don't want to go back to the United States. It's a garbage can that's run by morons.
Like
So I said,
Gilead.
oh my God, how appropriate.
Yeah.
I'm not letting you. So if you can, be active, find a way that's comfortable for you. I don't like making phone calls. I do postcards. Peggy and I go to rallies.
I
She
go
just
when I
does-
can,
She
yep.
goes when she can.
I do
I know
postcards.
this Tuesday, this won't air till after the fact, but it's the Stop the Chaos, Cruelty, and Corruption. And that's why we're doing this. At this stage in our lives, we would love to be doing things, kicking back, reading, and whatever, but these are important things. Not necessary for our generation,
But for
but
the,
That's right.
but for the next.
Yeah.
right?
There's
Yeah.
also a Women's March coming up on September 20th in Manhattan. I don't have, they didn't publish all the details yet, but I'm looking forward to that. That's on a Saturday, so
Yeah, I
it
think
should
I'd
be
like to go.
easy for people to attend that.
Easier.
So, yeah.
And pay attention, walk the walk, talk the talk. If,
Yeah.
if
That's
veterans
right.
are important to you, look what's going on with our veterans and what's
Right.
going on with the services, the VA administration,
Uh-huh.
law enforcement. Pay attention to what's happening with our law enforcement
And pay
and
attention-
how they're being used and abused by
Yes,
this
yes,
administration.
That's right.
as
Look
well.
what they're doing with the National Guard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Those guys shouldn't have to be
They don't
doing
have
this,
that
and I'm
training.
sure
They don't
most
have
of them
that training. They're far
don't
from
even
home.
want to be
No.
there.
And actually, they could deny being there, because if they, I just saw a whole article on it, and I can't, but the guy that he wasn't in the National Guard, he goes, you're going against the Constitution and what's supposed to be, he goes, so you can step back from this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
But there's an influx, there's a call too with for law enforcement. Like you see Dean Cain, I turned to go with
Oh,
the
jeez.
ICE, or you
Yeah.
have veterans, a lot of pro-Trumpers are going to veterans, but the services are not going to be there.
right.
So
right.
the protections, the benefits, the medical, the disability, it's the administration has been gutted to a point of no return at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
what
gonna
are you
take
walking
years and
into?
years
What are
and
you
years.
sending them into?
So,
Yeah,
and
I know.
actually, listen to what Trump is saying, because when he's praising somebody, and then all of a sudden he stops, find out why, and it's because they weren't loyal to him. And we don't need somebody who has somebody that's loyal to them. He's supposed to be representing us, the people. I get very emotional with this,
He's
but
not a
anyway.
god.
No, he's not a god. But thank you for watching. Thank you, Peggy.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you, Judy, for the wine.
Oh, you're welcome.
And
Bye,
try to
everybody.
have a good time. Enjoy Labor
Till
Day.
next time.
No, it's still
Bye.
bye.